Starting soon. There have been a lot of comments about the music. Tell me what you think out there. We'll be with you shortly. Oh, let's back that up. Hi, this is Roland from Saturday Morning Marketing Smarties, which has become Monday Morning Marketing Smarties. And real happy to change the name. I think if I'd started out with that Monday Morning Marketing Smarties, I might have made some better headway. Trying to break people into watching on Saturdays was actually quite an effort. But anyway, hi, my name is Roland. I'm from MinMax Media, bringing you the minimum you need for maximum impact. And I'm having an interesting day today. I'm not doing anything formal. I don't have a guest. I was planning on a couple guests, a couple different possibilities. Nothing really worked out, and I didn't want to take and have a stressful day of any kind. So I decided I'm just going to keep it loose and have an open house. Now, if you happen to be viewing the event, I see there are 2 people watching. So if you're out there viewing, you're welcome to comment on my webpage. Hi, Kathy. Hey, there's Kathy out there. See, she says, may not be able to stay long. I'm waiting for a phone call. Well, I thank you for showing up either way. Oh, and Aaron is out there. Aaron is a little under the weather today. I hope he's feeling better. Hope you're doing well, dude. But that's cool. Every once in a while, I have what I call an open house, and this will be kind of an interesting one. I don't automatically let anybody into the green room, but if I know who you are and you ask me, I'll probably say yes today. So let me know if you'd like to be in the green room. If not, please chat. I won't be posting your comments with a comment tracker today. I'm using the comment manager system to display something else. So we'll see how that works out. Anyway, Monday Morning Marketing Smarties has been dedicated to education-based marketing. And I almost hate to use the word marketing, and I definitely hate to use the word internet marketing. And internet marketing is just not what it used to be. It's been said by many people that advertisers and people taking advantage of the various platforms that are out there are going to take any platform and ruin it by manipulating their someone's trying to call me on my phone while I'm doing this. They're going to take it and manipulate the environment so that they can increase sales, get more branding, exposure, etc. I don't blame them for this. But there's something in the midst of that to me strikes me false. And so that's turned me into a little bit of a skeptic, and I tend to shy away from the average, the normal strategies of marketing because of that. And people will be on the other side of that conversation talking about, oh no, you've got to post blah, blah, blah. You've got to have these colors in your ads. You got it. And what they're, oh, I got a little message from Roland. Maybe she'll be joining me. Hang on a second. I'm not sure exactly what post. Point me to the post so I can prepare. What I'm going to do is I'm going to send you, Roland, because you're always welcome. I'm going to send you a direct link from the Hangout. I will also copy you in the chat, the side chat. And that's what I'm going to do. If I decide that I will be inviting you in, I will simply get you through instant messaging, and I'll send you the link. But I'm not going to post the link, publicly. Anyway, I've had this attitude towards marketing, and that's pretty much molded the way we do this show, based on internet marketing, selling without selling, never pitching to my audience. I just don't want to do it. And people say, well, how are you going to make money? How are you going to monetize? How are you going to? So like, I'm finding ways to do that without doing what's traditional, how to close people. Hi, Roland.
Hi. You rang?
I rang, and I'm just having a conversation with myself today. I'm glad you joined me. So it'll be interesting.
I can't stay for long because I'm on my way out, but I did 7 o'clock works for me later.
Okay, good. And anyway, I'm talking. It used to be that I had a Roland's rant, and I would go through on these days when it was just me, and I would just have a list of things that I would bark about. And anymore, I'm not really on that so much. I'm not on Lou Bortone's case and so forth. As a matter of fact, I would update this. Lou Bortone does a lot of good stuff. He's actually a pretty good guy, and he gives a lot to the people.
Yeah.
So, do I agree with everything he does or the way he does it? Not really.
No.
And I probably don't agree with the fact that he likes to call himself the godfather of video marketing.
No.
I just have never figured that one out. It's nice to.
You were talking about Lou Bortone, but your message said Ted Rubin.
I'm going to talk about Ted Rubin today because he's my real message.
Oh, okay.
And I'll get into that in just a little bit. But I'm kind of curious as to who might be out there. Let's take a quick look. Oh, there's Fireman CV. Name is slipping my mind right now. I'm very sorry, man. I'm going to have to correct that right now. Because this is a guy that we've been doing a lot of talking with, and he deserves to have his name acknowledged. So excuse me for one moment here.
So are you doing this on your website?
Yeah.
Oh, so that's why I got a message from Kathy Pop.
Probably, yeah. And appreciate Kathy Pop being in there today. It's good stuff.
But Roland, I can't stay right now. I need to go.
I totally understand, Roland. Thank you for dropping in.
Yeah.
But it's not a problem. I'm just having a casual day today. I'm going to be presenting a couple things to the people, but always good to have you drop in.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Hey.
Bye.
Thanks. Yeah, thanks. Now, so Aaron, what is Fireman CV's name, his first name? And post that to us here so I can just get this all straightened out, because I feel ridiculous. I can't even think of his name. Very sorry. And he's out there commenting and stuff. So Aaron, help me out. Or Fireman CV, just post your name in there so I can clear my fuzzy mind. But anyway, marketing the way it is, and the fact that marketers and advertisers ruin just about every platform available because of their incentives to make money. It kind of ruins the show for me. And I like helping people get exposure. I like helping them build their brand. But this is all based on the concept of they have something to offer, and I like to share with the world what it is they have to offer. And if they're doing it right, they're going to get their fair share of people who want to buy their stuff just by nature. So that's, I believe that. And I do not believe that the only way to get your name out there with the word out and to make more sales and conversions is to get a better marketer. I think that having a decent marketer is very important. But I do not like the tradition, the strategy, and so forth of regular marketing. And it is evidential that in this new era, and everybody's talking about the new age, the new era of marketing and how everything has changed. And the people are mimicking the words, but they don't know actually how it's changed, what the nature of it is. And this is my take on it. With the boom of social media, people are getting more expressive. And plus, they have more choices that they can make. before they buy something, they check 3 to 5, 10 dozens of resources to as potential options for what they want to spend on and buy, and to confirm their decision to buy something. People can do it themselves. They do it. They go right to Google, they go right to Amazon, they go right to the various resources and compare prices. And the people also are prolifically giving their opinion. Now, granted, there's sometimes the opinion on by some people that is false. It's not a true review or report or testimonial, but it's made up. There's that too. But I mean, when I read a false report, I kind of get a feeling, and I think, don't you? And when I'm reading something about a product or whatever, and it reads natural, you get a feeling of like, that sounds like a user. It sounds like a person with the actual experience of using the product that feels honest. You kind of get a better feel, right? So there's both of that, but the idea is you've got to weed through it to figure out what you actually think. So it doesn't matter what they think. It depends upon what you think after you read this stuff. So we are all curators of some kind. And so I think that, and the reason I brought up the name Ted Rubin, I love Ted Rubin. In 2016, just before January, it was December something, he wrote a report and submitted it, and he declared that in 2017, video marketing, specifically live streaming, was going to be the number one key going into 2017. And of course, I completely agreed with him, because even 2 full years before this mark, I was live streaming. And I couldn't talk people into it. I couldn't, as hard as I tried, I could not talk my clients into live streaming and producing shows to expose their product. So I just said, to hell with it. I'm going to go do it myself, and maybe lead the way, lead the pack, and do it myself and not worry about it. So there we have it, and then went into that and then started the Smarty Show. And a lot of good things came from that. Now I'm starting to do a lot of video editing. I've made some really good relationships with several very, very wonderful people who are doing business in our industries and adjacent industries. And I'm finding very good strategic alliances and JV partnerships. And that's, nowadays in the gig economy, I think that makes a whole lot of sense. So anyway, by the way, I really appreciate everyone commenting there. Thank you very much. But there are a couple things. I curate a lot of stuff that goes through the internet. Not that I curate so much and report it to everybody. I'm curating today. But I mean, I don't do this otherwise on a regular basis. But there's a lot of information on the internet, and not all of it makes sense to me. Now, why I put it that way is it doesn't matter whether it makes sense to me or not relative to you, because whoever you are, if it makes sense to you, then you should go with it. And you have to use the understanding of the information that you curate out there and apply it to what you are trying to do. And then if it works, if it fits, if it reinforces your goals and your focus, so be it. And that's what's most important. We each and all of us have to find what it is that blends within our alignments so that we can do the best we can. And that's another thing that we're going to talk about, doing the best we can. But in the meantime, Wow, we're 20 minutes into this little broadcast, and I've been mouthing off all by myself. But let's take a look at a couple things. So the first thing that I wanted to show everybody, and I will do a screen share of this, is that there's a guy out there named TJ Walker. Now, I don't particularly like the fact that TJ Walker hits me daily with 3 to 5 videos. I think it's too much. And to be honest with you, I get sick of opening up his videos. But I will say this. On the subjects that I want to consume his information, he is brilliant. And so this is what I want to share right now. This particular one is HTTPS YouTube blah 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 P419 yeah whatever. Anyway, it's in the video. I'll be more than happy to forward this to you if you want to contact me. But it's all about what to do with your hands when you're in a video. Now, I'm pretty relaxed with it right now. It's not that big a deal. And but if people have watched me before, you know that I talk with my hands. And I'm very expressive in that respect. And quite often, I think a lot of people are. And if you visit a friend or something, think about it when you're talking and whether they talk with their hands or not. And oftentimes people will do that. Now, if they don't, that's maybe a completely different other psychological analysis that we have to make. But what TJ Walker was getting at was that people who don't move their hands around are usually not doing so because they're nervous about what that hand looks like, and they're self-conscious, and they're wrapped up in this thinking of what I should be doing with my hand. Let's put it away, get it out of sight, don't do anything stupid. Instead of just expressing with your hands the way you always express. And if you don't think about it, you're probably better off than if you give it a lot of thought. So there's that. But TJ Walker, I open up my email sometimes, and well, today I had 5 emails from him. Now, I'm sorry, but that's quite a bit. I think it's automatic because I've subscribed to him, but I don't want to unsubscribe. So the thought comes to me, is it actually better to post more YouTube videos or less YouTube videos? Or is there a marginal call on that where we should do 2 a day or 1 a day or 3 a week? Or what do you people think? Well, I'm dying to know what you think. And we have a couple people in the listening group who are YouTubers. And by the way, once again, the people watching, if you would like to join me in the green room, let me know and I will fire off a link for you to be able to join me. And nobody's responded yet. I don't remember what Fireman CV, what your name is. So I guess I'll just go ahead and carry on. The person I wanted to focus on today was Ted Rubin. And I already prefaced this with, in 2016, December, Ted Rubin said what was just so much on my mind, that live streaming video was going to be the bomb. Those weren't the words he used, but that's what he implied. And then I've been following him ever since. And what he wrote today was just brilliant. And it reinforces a lot of what I think, a lot of what I've been talking about. So I'm going to share that with you now. And please, if you will, tell me what you think. So here we go. This is what Ted Rubin gave us today. He talked about fake news. So fake news, yes, there's a lot of fake news, but the truth is out there somewhere. Do your due diligence and then spend time piecing it all together to get some impression of the truth. So first of all, I'm going to stop right there. Piece it all together to get some impression of the truth. What he's implying is that it's all about the individual again. We have to come to our own conclusions and formulate our own damn opinion. That's all that matters. My opinion for me is all that matters. And I don't want to express to the people the good old boys, the lines so that more people like what I have to say and I get better numbers. And if I was concerned about numbers, I probably never would have done the Smarties show. But I'm not concerned about the statistics, and that's probably why there's nobody watching. But the thing is, what I do say on the show, I believe. And I'm true to that line of thinking. So I'm not going to say something just to get numbers or just to get the show ratings, so to speak. And that's the stuff that I curate from the internet and from what I witness, from what I see, what I believe becomes my opinion on something. And then that is what I deliver on the Smarties show. So that's wanted to reinforce what he was saying there. And he continues on, so I'm going to go for it. Ted Rubin says, if you want to be well informed, being lazy isn't an option. You must dig, learn, and form from your own opinions based on the facts you have available. Assume that everyone has a bias. I know I do. And factor that into your opinion. Question whether the source has something to gain by presenting information in a specific way, and whether you have something to gain by interpreting the information in the way that you do. Now, that is a wealth of an understanding and knowledge in the midst of a paragraph, and we'll come back to that, but he follows up and he says, keep an open mind and remember, marketers invented fake news. And we'll come back to that too. So he wraps it up and says, in today's world, everyone's a publisher. Everyone influences someone. So in the end, we owe it to ourselves not to pick sides right away. And I put my own insert there. Be slower to leap towards shiny objects. But to do our best to get to the bottom of every important story. And that's the truth. Get to the bottom of every important story. So Ted said some wonderful things in the various things. I love what he says about fake news. The internet, I've been saying for all the 4 years that we've been on the air with the Smarties, that 80% of what's on the internet is bullshit. And I think that's exactly what Ted is calling fake news. And that's about right? 80%, 4 out of 5 things that you read are going to be incentivized by the people trying to sell you something, push a movement or an idea, and that influences what they say and how they say it. So 2 different resources could take the same bit of news, and because their incentives are different, it could sound like 2 different broadcasts completely. And that's what bias does. So it's really hard to sort out what the bottom line truth is. But if you do enough research, you'll get a better essence of the truth. And I think that's a very important factor. So being well informed, being lazy is not an option. And I read a very interesting quote. Let's see, was I smart enough to? By golly, I actually was smart enough to put it in here. This was not Ted Rubin. This is not Ted Rubin, but it was in a video that was produced by someone. So is this a bunch of facts? Not necessarily, but I'm inclined to believe it, and it's very close to my own opinion. So this video that I watched said, humans are the only life forms that will do less than they possibly can. Let me start over. Humans are the only life forms that will do less than they possibly can and settle for less. Every other life form will strive to its maximum capacity. This is possible because we have been given freedom of choice. Now, I could spend an entire hour talking about that statement. But there are a couple concepts to take away from that. Just first of all, the fact that humans will do less than they are capable of. Now, we talk ourselves into all kinds of things, and we are prolifically, commonly, of the bent of talking ourselves into something that we want to do, and then finding out later, well, that wasn't a very good idea, was it? So we come back on it later on and capitulate that maybe we weren't as smart as we think we are. But we will do less than we possibly can. And I think that is inherently linked to human laziness. I've been lazy in my life, so I'm admitting something that I am myself, to a certain extent, very lazy. However, on the other side of that, I do realize that we have been given a freedom of choice. And when something means something to me, I dig in as far as I can. I become everything that I can be within that parameter. And that's a choice that we have, that we can make. It's not a matter of the right or the wrong or the good or the bad. It's a choice we have to make. But one of the choices is to be lazy, in various degrees of laziness. And one of them is to be productive and efficient, and to want to be productive and efficient. And when we consider these things, we have a choice to make. Every other life form will strive to its maximum capacity. Now, I'm a kind of a balance in between, because my tagline is the minimum you need for maximum efficiency, the minimum you need for maximum impact. We don't need to be perfect, and there is no way to be perfect. There is no real such thing as being perfect, but you can be the best you can be, the best that you want to be, the best you want to express, and move out and do something with that and impact the world around you as best you can. If you've done your best, that's the best. That's all you need to do. And so that was part of the message that I got out of the video that I was watching. Like, if you've done your best, it's good enough. So as human beings, we have to decide what is good enough. When have we done our best? Are we satisfied with our performance? Are we satisfied with our choices? And is it good enough? Well, the first thing I know is that done beats perfect. And I don't have to be perfect. If I wanted to be perfect, I'd start off with a lot of problems, right? Because what do I compare that to? What exactly is perfect. And I don't have the answer for that. I'm just me. But I do know that I'm capable of certain things better than maybe some other people, not as good as some other people, but I can do the best that I can. And that's the only thing that the universe is suggesting that I try to do. That's really it. So I'm caught up in a quandary of what to do about life in general. And in the midst of that, the best that I can do is a show on Mondays about marketing smarties. Smarties being people who do not have to be more intelligent or richer or converting on a higher ratio. Marketing smarties are people who are happy doing what they're doing and then truthfully expanding into their universe. Does that make sense to anybody out there? I am expanding into my universe. And I am expanding into my universe in joy. So that's a part of it right there. I believe that we should be expanding in joy. I believe that I'm able to do this. Not so I'm converting all these people to be followers of Roland or anything like that. But if I do what I want to do, I know that a few people will join me. I know that I'll be in alignment with a few people as we go, and that we will all have a pretty good time in the midst of that. Oh, Apple, the Mac company, is coming out with new releases. And I thought it was very interesting because the bottom line is I think Apple is a great company, but they're in it for the money, right? So they come out with some new stuff and then they've got a big surge of release. The first thing they do is they get ready, get your wallet ready, get your money ready, your bank account ready to expunge itself, and then come take a look. And here's what they're talking about. So this is what Apple company, is presenting to the world very, very soon. New Animoji and potentially Animoji directly inside of FaceTime. FaceTime, of course, is an Apple product for producing video communications and stuff. A tool to build apps for iPhones, iPads, and iMacs all at once. That's pretty cool because the iPhones, the iPads, and etc. Macintosh is well, they don't call it Macintosh anymore. Macs is essentially half of the market, the digital market. They're coming out with a new MacBook Pro, a new MacBook, and a new iMac. Maybe even a new improved keyboard to help with recent complaints about the butterfly keyboards. I don't know anything about the butterfly keyboards. They're coming out with improved do not disturb controls to help curb your phone addiction. Now, I don't know. Apps like Moment and Feedless are already focusing on this problem. Okay. They're coming out with an all-in-one charger, a wireless charger for iPhone, Apple Watch, and AirPods. The one they announced last September. So I guess they found some quirks in it, and they're finally ironing that out. And there are a couple of other things. They got some software updates and blah, 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 augmented reality, new developers plans. But that's the basics of what they're coming out with. But I thought that was funny. The first thing on their list was new Animoji and potentially Animoji directly inside of FaceTime. Yay. Whatever. But that just told me that Apple products is so commercialized, they are probably the ones to take a look at and see they've got as much fake news as anybody. They're simulating the attitude that these things are needed, very important, and essential to iMac, iPad users and iPhone users. And because they're putting it out in a new release and marketing it, they're going to sell a fair amount of that stuff to the people who are already their customers, which is, from a marketing standpoint, a really good idea. But I just can't find myself in alignment with the feeling there. Does that make sense? And this is partially why I don't like marketing. And the marketing people, they're as much trying to find ways to get this stuff sold and promoted, regardless of whether they think it's a good idea or not. So that's what I cannot be a party to there. But that pretty much wraps up what would have been Roland's rant for this Monday. And I guess the difference between a Roland's rant and what we did today is my attitude. Quite simply, back when I had a Roland's rant, I was so disgusted with what I was experiencing that I would get on my webcast and I would just say, man, I'm so sick of this. I'm so tired. This is what I think. And it was my opportunity to express myself. And now I've spent the last one more year expressing myself anyway without the attitude. So I'm no longer caught up in the negative vibration of, man, that stuff disgusts me. I know it exists. You know it exists. I have a different attitude about it than some people do. I'm not married to it as an advertiser. Therefore, divorce from these concepts is very easy. And I'm happier with myself. And that's where my own opinion on the whole thing comes to play. So I guess I'll be wrapping up the conversation a little bit early today. We have two people out there, and it very well might be our Fireman CV friend and Kathy Pop, maybe Aaron. But anyway, I didn't do this to have any particular following conversation or to create the Roland show. But I did not want to not do the show if there was anybody out there that was getting commonly used to joining me on a Monday and having a conversation that's worth something. So I wanted to bring you a little bit of value as I see it from the marketing world. Ted Rubin's the best. I also think that TJ Walker is very good. So those two people I highlight this week, and I hold them up for your speculation and consideration. But I think it's an interesting world we live in. And we don't have to dwell in the negative. So I suggest that we dwell in whatever's positive, be positive about it. When I watched that show, I think I mistold the name of the show last week. Frankel. It was not Franken as in Frankenstein. The name of the horse was Frankel. And Frankel was a great horse. But the idea was the owner of the horse was talking about his best advice for life. And he was a person dying of cancer and suffering from multiple physical conditions. And he simply said, you don't think about all this stuff. You don't think about your illness. You don't think about the pains. And you just really get over that part of it and focus on the good stuff. And there was nothing ever more brilliant than that. I would tell people that too, and then they would say, oh no, you got to face reality. You've got to do this and that. You've got to be real. I love that one. And of course, a whole show could be based on what I think of reality. But the main thing is we need to focus on the good stuff. And that's what I've been doing. I've been getting better at it. And I've been reaping the harvest of the results of focusing on the good stuff, doing what I can with what I've got from where I am. And lo and behold, it's enough. So, we actually were joined by a third person. If there's anybody new out there, please drop a line in either YouTube or, oh, wow. So Fireman C is posting a lot of notes in YouTube. I don't usually even watch YouTube. Aaron Avila, FaceTime is Facebook. No, it's an Apple product. Anyway, it's by Mac. It's by Apple. So I'm going to read over these before I close the show here. Sean, my God, it's been so long since I've talked to you. I forgot your name. Hi, Sean. So Fireman CV is Sean, and Sean is he is great. He's got his own YouTube channel, and he's a man who's faced his own challenges, and he's doing well. And he stands up for some really good stuff. So visit Fireman CV in YouTube and subscribe. So I think that's about just what I've got to offer you today. I wasn't really here to do anything monumental, but I did want to have a little bit of fun and share with you a couple of things that I think are of very extreme value. So, ladies and gentlemen out there, thank you very much for joining me. I hope you have a wonderful day and a wonderful week. And we're going to into our 8th, 9th, or 10th, or 11th, or 12th episode of Stroke Talk Q&A for Stroke TV. And you might want to join us for that too. And join Aaron and me as we take in half an hour and talk to stroke survivors and thrivers. So that's about it for today. And thank you very much, Kathy Pop, Sean, Aaron, and we'll see you folks later. And please have a wonderful day. Bye, everyone.